So now they're asking, I committed a zina in the month of Ramadan. And you're wondering to yourself, how on earth did a guy do this? Or did she do this in the month of Ramadan? Who can answer? Instagram, aka Fitnagram, guys. Right? Sometimes it starts with an innocent look. And the moment you click on a profile picture, my brothers and my sisters, and vice versa, you are playing with fire. One thing leads to another. Even in the month of Ramadan, right? We tend to just kill time. The hunger kicks in, especially an hour or two before iftar. And you're just scrolling and roaming the internet. Zina al-aynayn? No. The zina of the eyes is what? Okay. And then the zina of the tongue is what? Flirting, speaking with her. Right? As much as you try to make excuses for yourself, my brothers and my sisters, and I'm going to tell the brothers this especially, the fact that you think that you have the strength to protect yourself from women, right? It shows how much you have become deluded. Let's be honest with ourselves. Sometimes I go to one of these universities and say, we got good intentions, can men and women just be friends? Can men and women just be friends? We got good intentions. Nothing big is going to come out of it. That's how it all starts, right? This is how the shaitan operates, my brothers and my sisters. He's not going to say to you, this is haram, go and do it. He's going to try and beautify it for you as much as he can. Just like he did with who? Our father Adam and Eve. By the way, not Adam and Steve, guys, Adam and Eve. Just in case somebody is saying that this is natural. Adam. He purified it for them. وَقَاسَمَهُمَا إِنِّي لَكُمَا لَمِنَ النَّاصِحِينَ. He swore by Allah to qasam, I am indeed a sincere advisor to you. Eat from the tree and you will be from the Khalideen. Sahih? You will become from those who spend forever and ever in a Jannah, in paradise. Right. I'm going to tell you guys about a relative of mine who fell into this trap. Because Ramadan relates as well, right? We all want to, This brother, at the beginning of Ramadan, my brothers and my sisters said, Khalas, I'm cutting off my girlfriend. He's also a drug dealer, by the way, guys. Why are you guys laughing? He said, Khalas, he cut her off. This Ramadan, I'm going to change. There are many Muslims, my brothers and my sisters, they use the month of Ramadan as a stepping stone. Sahih? For you to start referring as their sister as a Ramadan Muslim, or the guy who started practicing in the month of Ramadan as a Ramadan Muslim, you are gravely mistaken. Fear Allah. Right? There are two kinds of people. Someone who says, you know what, Ramadan I'm going to stop, but then on Eid, can't wait for it. In the final 10 nights of Ramadan, he's preparing which girl is going to meet, which hotel is going to sleep in, and what car is going to be driving. Sahih? However, there are others, like the first that I just spoke about. Kept up. We can hear you. Is that sister from outside or upstairs? We got sisters standing outside listening. There are Muslims who use the month of Ramadan as a stepping stone to get better. That's when they start practicing. For you to look down on them, you are gravely mistaken. So this is what he tried to do. He stopped selling drugs and he cut off that girl who he was doing haram with. We fast in the day and we pray in the night, right? That's exactly what this drug dealer is doing. You know, sometimes you ask, why is it I don't feel the same outside the month of Ramadan? When I was in the month of Ramadan, why? Simply because we do a lot of righteous deeds, guys. This really increases our iman. Come the day of Eid, he gets a phone call. He gets a phone call from the sister. Look how the shaitan operates. Like I told you guys, he's very, very subtle. Huh? He's not going to say to you this haram. He'll try and beautify it for you. Right? He gets the phone call from the sister. And she says to him, can you come over to the house? I want to speak to you about making it halal. I want to speak to you about making it halal. You know what he said to me? He drove down, parked up. Within a couple of minutes, they committed zina in the back of the car. I'm not finished yet, brothers and sisters. I'm not finished. We sat down in the park together, right? And he burst down into tears. He said, all of the hard work in the month of Ramadan when my iman was sky high, it is as if it came crumbling down that very moment. Remind me of the hadith, right? And remember guys, this is a drop to say this. Messenger sallallahu is saying, لا يزني الزاني حين يزني وهو مؤمن. Right? When one commits a zina, iman is taken away from him. His faith, right, is taken away from him. Does that mean he becomes a non-Muslim? No. It is uplifted from him. There are certain bad deeds that we fall into, my brothers and my sisters, affect our iman, and it gradually causes it to go down, 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 and down, up until there's nothing left, and then we are left empty, broken, miserable, right? Spiritually dead, guys. And there are certain acts like a zina, even if your iman is sky high, up in cloud 9, it will come crashing down. Are you brothers and sisters with me? This is what sins do to an individual. A lot of times we think, if I carry out the sin, if I fall into this haram, the only time I have to deal with it is when I meet Allah on Yawm al-Qiyamah. You're mistaken, my friend. The consequences are almost instant, immediate. He says, I feel like I've lost my Ramadan. I was in such a better place spiritually. And I know a lot of us, right, feel like this. Many people, my brothers and sisters, let me tell you this, right? They are depressed. And they are empty. They're down, right? So you know what they do? They stay on their phone all day long. To distract their minds from what? From the underlying issues that they are suffering from. They look for something to distract their minds with. Right? However, the heart doesn't work like that, guys. When I went to Virginia, I spoke a little bit about the YouTubers. And some of you guys may have heard me mention this in the past in one of the videos. Guys like Logan Paul, KSI, Justin Bieber, Mr. Beast. What's the other guy called? FouseyTube.
Slim.
Huh?
Slim.
No, I didn't hear Slim say this. Alright? Shahid bin Kalam, my brothers and sisters. I heard all of these names that I just dropped, saying almost that which is identical to the other. Pay attention, guys. What do they all have in common? They got money. They got fame. They have cars. They have women. They have all that which you can think of. That many youngsters today would love to have. However, they also have something else in common. And that is, they are spiritually dead and empty. Is Abu Taymiyyah bringing this out of his own back pocket? No, my brothers and my sisters. There's a brother who compiled small little clips of these YouTubers all saying the exact same thing. I remember sending it to my little brother. I was like, Ibrahim, what do you think? He's like, wow, man. They're living double lives. Because some of them were saying, what you see in front of the camera is very different to what happens behind closed doors. They themselves are admitting this, guys. But they're all what? Spiritually dead and empty. The way Allah Azza wa Jalla has created our hearts, my brothers and my sisters, right? It craves for its creator. Understand that, guys. Your heart, it craves for its creator. It is as simple as that. And the only thing that is going to give you that spiritual contentment and that ease and peace, brothers and sisters, if you have that relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that you always put it first. I have 15 points written down here, guys, which I wanted to go through. However, I got a little bit carried away from the things that soften your heart. You know what number one is, brothers and sisters? إِيثَارُ اللَّهِ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. To put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. Right? Before every other human being. By way of doing righteous deeds. Right? Sometimes you find yourself in that predicament. Your friends are pulling you to haram. Let's go and do this. This is going to bring us excitement and satisfaction. Sahih. But then on the other hand, you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, right? Muhammad, don't do this. We find in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Who is this speaking to, guys? What does Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu mean? Oh, you who believe. When we hear this, we should take it personally. Am I not someone who believes? We take that personally, brothers and sisters. Allah Azza wa Jalla is calling me out. Sometimes we think, oh, he's speaking about my friend, he's not speaking about me when the khatib is giving a khutbah. That's personal, guys. Would you say to your mother, Mom, wait for me, let me go finish playing game with my friend and then I'm going to come back to you? No one will disrespect their parents like the old day. Or does it happen, guys? Even if we did, we know this is disrespectful. This, in essence, my brothers and my sisters, is how we are conducting ourselves towards Allah Azza wa Jalla. Look at it like that. The Almighty Creator that we are leaving on standby. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest, Allah is the greatest. And we're sitting in front of the PS2. Not PS5, sorry. PS2 is gone. Or we're sitting in front of that football game or the NFL game or that basketball game. When I get time, I'm going to go to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Right? This is what it's become, brothers and sisters. Right? Little do we realize, my brothers and my sisters, only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Right? Before we are hurt by that which we prioritize over Allah Azza wa Jalla. Right? It is as simple as that. You know how many DMs I get on a regular basis from sisters saying, brother, please advise me, I'm heartbroken. He made me all of these promises, right? And then he dumped me, right? He said he was going to do this and he was going to do that. And now, he played around with me and I feel absolutely broken. Ibn Taymiyyah over 700 years ago, he said, وَعْلَمْ أَنَّ كُلَّ مَنْ أَحَبَّ شَيْئًا لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ فَلَا بُدَّ أَنْ يَضُرُّهُ مَحْبُوبٌ. He said, make sure you know, anyone who loves other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? More than he should love Allah Azza wa Jal, it's only a matter of time before you are left hurt by it. Makes a lot of sense now, right? All of these promises that he makes to you, my sister, which then all of a sudden leaves you disappointed and broken and miserable, simply because we did not put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. When he told you, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا, don't come close to a zina. Right? He didn't say don't do this, he said don't come close to it. And just to point out to my sisters, any guy who doesn't go straight to your father, this guy is not serious. The serious guy is not going to creep through the window. He's going to go straight through the door. And the fact that he got you so easily, right, he can let you go so easily as well. Remember that. All of these lies, these fake promises, we're going to be together forever. Wallahi, even drug dealers that I speak to, on a regular basis, they'll say, I've got these girlfriends, but she's not like wife material. She's not wife material. That's how he talks. Right? If she came to me so easily, she might go to some other guy tomorrow so easily as well. Right? I don't want somebody like her as my wife. Somebody so loose like that. So you're bound to be hurt, my brothers and my sisters, in whatever capacity it might be. You are prioritizing your friends over Allah Azza wa Jal. They're going to do haram, and you go with them when you know you shouldn't. It's only a matter of time. I have a principle in life. You know what this principle is? وَالنَّاسُ إِذَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ أَبْغَضَ بَعْضُهُم بَعْضًا كما قال ابن تيمية. When the people they cooperate in sin and evil, it's only a matter of time before they bash heads with one another, before they fall out with one another. Right? It is as simple as that. My brothers and my sisters, I want to talk to you guys about the two types of clothing that is mentioned in the Quran. Just to show you how an individual may become unrecognizable. I got people messaging me all the time saying, I can't recognize myself anymore. My friends can't recognize me anymore. Right? I was that pious Muhammad, all of a sudden I've become this monster. Lost control of my body parts, of my private parts. How do I go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? All the time I receive messages like this. They've done it. I thought he said 39 seconds left. I thought he was giving me a countdown. Are you brothers and sisters with me? In Surah Al-A'raf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the downfall of our father Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. And we are taught about two types of clothing. Allah says in the Quran, يا بني آدم قد أنزلنا عليكم لباسا يواري سوآتكم وريشا ولباس التقوى ذلك خير. Right? Allah Azza wa Jalla said, we have sent down clothes for you to wear to cover your private heart. Right? And then also Allah then tells us that there is a type of clothing which is the clothing of taqwa. And Allah tells us that is better. Right? Let me now show you guys the connection. You have the physical type of clothing that you wear to cover your aura, right? And then you have the type of clothing called the taqwa. But that doesn't make sense though, right? Taqwa, where is it? It's inside of the heart. Being conscious of Allah, having that fear. Is that an action of the limb or an action of the heart? It's the action of the heart. Is it something that you can wear? Libas al-taqwa, here Allah Azza wa Jalla is referring to al-taqwa as a type of clothing. Right. Let me tell you guys about this scenario. Everyone here, there was once upon a time, and it may still be the case, when they were extremely shy. Sometimes we speak about shyness, and brothers think that this is only specific for sisters. No. It's a trait that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the prophets used to adorn and beautify themselves with. You were shy, right? You would hesitate before you speak to the opposite gender side. Shakes laughing, huh? You would hesitate, right? Before you speak to the opposite gender. You weren't that comfortable around them. However, you were in that environment where the people used to gender mix. Huh? And the more you gender mix, the more you find yourself in that kind of environment, the more comfortable you will get with the opposite gender. Are you brothers and sisters with me? Pay attention to what I'm about to say. The more comfortable you become with the opposite gender, the more you will see your shyness diminishing. You're disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my brothers and my sisters, and that taqwa inside of your heart will get less and more less as time goes on. Right? And when that happens, my brothers and my sisters, that clothing of a taqwa, libas al-taqwa, it diminishes as time goes on. What eventually happens, my brothers and my sisters? the physical clothing that one wears also will end up coming off, becoming less and less and less. Does that make sense? That which is going to destroy your taqwa is none other than the sins that we engage in. The more you do so, and especially when you're around the opposite gender, one thing leads to another, right? Innocent chit-chats all of a sudden become haram chit-chats, right? And before you know it, the clothes are coming off, both for male and female. Can you see the relation, my brothers and my sisters? Right? Your heart became destroyed, and then the limbs eventually followed. ألا وإن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله وإذا فسد فسد الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. Famous hadith that a lot of us have heard of. Not so long ago, it's been like for the first time in a long time, right? Since I heard somebody say this. A brother mentioned that the iman's in the heart. Faith is in the heart. As long as you got good intentions, no problem. He was trying to get one of his relatives to sit around with men. And she was like, no. It's like, as long as this is good. As long as this is good. Right? And then he asked me. I said, of course not. Right? The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنظُرُ إِلَى صُوَرِكُمْ وَلَا إِلَى أَجْسَادِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَإِلَى أَعْمَالِكُمْ. Allah does not look at your outer appearance. Allah does not care about how big or how skinny or how black or how white you are. That's not something that Allah focuses on. Allah looks at your hearts. But there's also a second thing I was mentioning. That was, He also looks at your actions. Does that make sense, my brothers and sisters? Yeah. If that becomes corrupt, you will see the limbs following suit. Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saying, indeed, inside of your body, there is a piece of flesh. If that becomes corrupt, everything else becomes corrupt as well. It will just follow suit. And then it makes sense, right? Why all of a sudden you are unrecognizable to your people. To those who once upon a time praised you and complimented you. Right? Does that make sense, my brothers and sisters? There's a lot of things beginning to make sense as to why we may feel spiritually dead and empty. Why we may become unrecognizable. It all starts with what? A small little sin that we might not necessarily repent from. And eventually it leads to one apostating. I didn't say this, Ibn al-Qayyim did. It says, Al-ma'siyatu baridul kufr. The sin that you fall into, it is the first spark to disbelief. The first spark to disbelief, brothers and sisters. If you're not repenting from it, immediately after carrying out that sin, right, one thing is going to lead to another.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can everybody hear me? Shortly, inshallah, the Shaykh is going to complete what he was saying. He's going to complete the rest of his lecture, inshallah. Just wanted to make a quick announcement. For the people, there will be a portion of question and answer. If you look at these two TV screens, you see a QR code. If you scan that QR code into your phone, inshallah, that will allow you to access the link with which you can ask the questions. As far as the people who can't see it or aren't close enough to it, we printed some papers with the QR code, inshallah, and we passed around during the lecture as the Shaykh finishes up.
My brothers and my sisters, I want to conclude the lecture. I want to conclude the lecture with these 5 points. But before I do that, I want to read out this very, very powerful statement. May Allah Azza wa Jalla reward you guys for your patience. It's getting hot in here, right? May Allah reward you guys for it. But remember guys, the hellfire is more hotter. قُلْ نَارُ جَهَنَّمَ أَشَدُّ حَرًّا لَوْ كَانُوا يَفْقَهُونَ. Sometimes these Fasiqat and fajirat, they come to our Muslim sisters and they say, isn't it hard in there, you know? While they're wearing the hijab sahih. Say to them, قُلْ نَارُ جَهَنَّمَ أَشَدُّ حَرًّا لَوْ كَانُوا يَفْقَهُونَ فَلْيَضْحَكُوا قَلِيلًا وَلْيَبْكُوا كَثِيرًا. Laugh. Right? Laugh. Who's going to have the last laugh on Yawm al-Qiyamah? The believers. They can mock us, they can laugh at us as much as they want. Right? As much as they want. إِنِّي جَزَيْتُهُمُ الْيَوْمَ بِمَا صَبَرُوا. Allah says, I will reward them today due to their patience. They are today the faizun, the successful ones. Be very patient. Alright, we're nearly done, guys. Yeah? Put your hand up, please, if you came from Michigan. Allahu Akbar. Are you guys going Yemeni? Oh, yeah. Huh? Anyone here from Atlanta? Indiana? SubhanAllah. We drove down? SubhanAllah, I was there yesterday. No, bless you guys. I said I'm going to mention 5 points, guys, that will help you, inshallah ta'ala, remain steadfast. And before I do that, I want you guys to quickly just think about a statement, right, of Malik ibn Dinar, rahmatullahi alayhi. We didn't take anything away from his lecture, and please don't leave this off. Malik ibn Dinar, rahmatullahi alayhi, said, إذا رأيت قساوة في قلبك ووهنا في بدنك وحرمانا في رزقك فاعلم أنك تكلمت فيما لا يعنيك. If you begin to feel a hardness in your heart and a weakness in your body, sometimes after sinning you feel that kind of weakness, right? Even though you had 3 meals that day. You had 3 meals, you had enough nutrition, enough water, but you're still feeling weak. وَحِرْمَانًا فِي رِزْقِكَ. And you begin to feel that your rizq, your provision, is slow in coming towards you. You're being deprived from it. Nothing seems to be happening for you. Look what he says, guys. فَاعْلَمْ أَنَّكَ تَكَلَّمْتَ فِيمَا لَا يَعْنِيكَ. Then know you have spoken about that which does not concern. All of this is going to happen if you engage in that which doesn't concern you. Right? When you look at this pleasing act to Allah Azza wa Jalla, is it the same as flirting with the opposite gender? Is it the same as backbiting? Is it the same as maybe abusing another individual, whether it is done verbally or physically? Is it the same, guys? No, it's not. Because the sins are tabaqat, there are different levels. But all of this is going to happen when you do that. Wallahi, that's so powerful, man. It really, really is. Right? The second statement that I want to mention, and this is even more powerful. Ibn al-Jawzi rahmatullahi alayhi says, I believe this is in his kitab, بحر الدموع. إذا غرق القلب في المباح أظلم فكيف بالحرام. If your heart now begins to drown in that which is permissible, your heart will start becoming dark. Let me ask you guys a question. Playing basketball is haram? Huh? No. You know, you guys don't know it's so funny? Huh? I was in Philly, right? And I was on my way to New Jersey. The Sheikh received a message saying, people are warning against Abu Taymiyyah's program. Why are they warning against it? Because Abu Taymiyyah says sports are haram. I told the Sheikh, send him this video that I'm going to send you where I'm not making somebody in and out. Because I was a bit of a baller myself, guys. Right? I can shoot 3 hoops, guys. Or is it 3 pointers? Is that what you call it? Even on the football pitch, guys. Have you guys heard of West Ham United? I had trials for them back in the day. But I'm officially retired now. Huh? That's why they're doing really bad at it. Huh?
They always suck.
Huh?
They always suck.
Say they always suck.
Liverpool's better.
You guys watch the Premier League? Allah subhanAllah, the Muslims in New York, they really touched my heart. You know why? I walked past the Barclays Center on the day when LeBron James came down. The Lakers were playing against the Nets, Brooklyn Nets, that's what they call them, right? The lecture was after Isha. Right? I walked past the Barclays Center at Maghrib time. And they were lining up at the Barclays Center to watch the basketball game. While the Muslims packed up the masjid an hour and a half before the lecture. Look at the contrast of that, brothers and sisters. That really, really touched my heart, man. It really did. Right? Anyways, playing basketball, guys, is it haram?
No.
Playing football, I mean soccer. Soccer. You guys call football something else. Is it haram?
No.
Unless, of course, it involves haram. But the asal of doing sports and exercising is not haram. Sahih? What if you're now doing it so excessively that it ends up affecting your prayers and your ibadah doesn't become haram? So what if it's not, but you're spending so much time of your day doing it? The time of the salah kicks in, you pray. But you're spending maybe 7-8 hours a day playing hoops. Is it haram, guys?
No.
Imagine now, my brothers and my sisters, doing something that is permissible excessively. Ibn al-Jawzi is saying this is going to cause you hardness in your heart. It's going to cause it to become dark. Right? Reading the newspaper, my brothers and my sisters, is haram.
No.
Going on to, I was going to say Fox News, forget about that. Like reading the Washington Post. Which one's more worse? This one or that one? Or whatever news tabloid you guys have that is okay in its content. Is it haram? But you're spending the whole day scrolling through the news articles. He says, إِذَا غَلِقَ الْقَلْبُ فِي الْمُبَاحِ أَضْرَبَ. If your heart now, my brothers and my sisters, begins to drown in that which is permissible, it starts becoming dark. فَكَيْفَ بِالْحَرَامِ. Then how about if you're doing haram, brothers and sisters? What that's going to end up doing to your heart? To conclude, my brothers and my sisters, 5 points that I want you guys to act upon.